Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do my first impressions on the Koenig Mini Goblin. Cool name, right? This was loaned in by Jake, my good buddy from Bearded Gear. Go check out his channel. Will be linked in the description. He is a brother, a best friend, just an awesome dude. I'm sure you've seen his channel, but if you haven't, I totally recommend it. I'm going to leave this up here so Jake can hang out with us. And let's check out his knife. This is the Koenig Mini Goblin. This is a collaboration between, I believe it's called Shark Knives. I don't know, I'm just taking a guess here. And Koenig Knives. They are out of Idaho. These are American-made knives. I believe Shark Knives is out of Hawaii. This is an M390 with a hollow grind. Titanium finish with this bronze finish on it. Same with the titanium hardware. And it is a interesting looking knife. There is a good amount of milling inside there. It's going to be hard for you to see that. I'm trying. Can you see that? There's milling down there. There's some pockets down at the end. And then on this side, it is very milled out. Looking good in there. These knives are expensive, of course. I believe they're like $600 new and about the same on the secondary. It's kind of a goofy looking guy. I've said before, it reminds me of a Hinderer flipper tab. It's like they took the Hinderer flipper tab and turned it into a knife. The crook nose, the witch's crook nose. I tuned this knife for Jake just because I got it and it wasn't like dropping shut really. It was kind of more of a shaker, but now it's pretty droppy McDroppersons. Actually, I think it could use a little more. Let's see what we can do here. Carefully turn that. You see that? You see that? That is some great ass hardware. That bit did not want to come out of there because it was nice and deep. That's what she said. No blade play, of course. And there we go. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Mini Goblin, and I shake and drop clothes very easily. Thanks. Welcome. So, yeah. The D10 on this guy is a little light, but I also kind of tuned that. So something I want to talk about is this screw is important on a knife, guys. I feel like nobody talks about this, but that screw holds in your... it holds in your steel insert, and a lot of times it also is your detent ball. You see that? See the detent ball there? I believe that's all connected to the same part, which is held in by this screw. And I could be wrong, but I've found on a lot of knives, when the detent seems a bit light, this is loose. I tighten it like a tiniest bit. Obviously, you're not trying to strip it or whatever. And all of a sudden, the detent gets a little stronger. And actually, I've had CKFs where literally it saved the knife because it had like no detent. And I tightened that, and boom, all of a sudden, it at least had a detent. It's not going to be a world changer. Like, it's still kind of light, but you'll see there, it is hard to fail. It's just locking up. But it is. And before I did that, it was failing a little bit. If you really tried. Now, if you just pick up the knife and go, hey, I'm going to flip it, you're going to flip it. It's not a problem. And because of Koenig's pivot design, which is just awesome, I don't know how they do it or anything. I just know it's awesome because there's just no resistance in there at all. It's glassy. This is the glassiest I've felt on a knife. Like, it just is ridiculous. There's no friction. It's amazing. And because of that, the detent can be a little light, and it's still just, it's so smooth and so, like, just glassy that it ends up locking up anyway. It just, like, kind of, boop, I got you. I'm going to lock up for you, you know? I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, and then on the close there, you can see it's now just basically dropping shut. It does want to get held up like right there sometimes. I don't know what that's all about. And then when it gets past that, it's like boom, you know. So if you get past that, you're good. You can play the game of get my thumb out of there in time. That's a nice game people like to play on the weekends when they're drinking. And you end up with a bunch of cuts. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, action is phenomenal on this knife, guys. I do wish the detent was stronger. I just wish it had more of a bang when you clicked it. When you flipped it. I kind of get it, though, because the flipper tab's so minimal. They didn't want to make it where it hurt your fingertip to flip, and it really doesn't have any issues locking up, so it's fine. And if you want to apply more pressure, you can. If you want to do the old Dirk warning, you can. Shout out to Dirk. You can give it the smackaroony, and it locks up, and it's great. It has a hollow grind on here. I believe the newer ones now have a flat grind. I think the hollow makes sense on this knife because of how shallow the blade is. Like, so the grind starts here, right? So you only have this much space to go down to the edge. So a hollow makes sense. You can get it much thinner, much faster. Now, the disadvantage to that is it's going to get fat quicker. But in most people's cases, this is not going to be a knife you're going to beat on. So it makes sense. Has a nice tip on there. It is a crazy warning, guys. I mean, just look at that. Other than my new Arcane Design crawler, it's probably the craziest looking warning I've seen. But this thing is just ridiculous. Look at that. Freaking blade shape. Love that knife. But yeah, so cool. It's interesting how it's shaped, right? Because what I don't like about it is you're basically just like, you're just standing there with a upwards angled tip. Like, that's all you have is the tip. Like, the way you'd have to bend, you'd have to hold it like this in a pinch grip and aim it down to like get to anything. You know what I'm saying? Because naturally when I hold it like this, it just pointed in the air. Even if my hand is like vertical like this or horizontal, the knife is still kind of up because that's the way it's designed. I mean, you can see right there, it's just shooting straight up. I don't like that. I don't understand it really at all. I don't understand the benefit of it. I need somebody to tell me why that's, I mean, it's good for fucking, you know, Friday night gas station fights, but I don't do that anymore, you know? I've grown out of that. Yeah, I know, it's just weird to me how it does that. Ergos. So, it's good. Like, it seems like it would be weird, you know? It is small, guys. This knife is smaller than I thought it was going to be. But, like, it fits in my hand pretty well. I have a large to XL glove size hand. That little end is just coming out. I can fit 4 fingers on it. Feels pretty good. Jimping right here is a little bit rough, but not bad at all. It's great, but you don't really go there anyway. You're up here. There's no choil, but it kind of wants to be one, you know? So you could kind of go up like this, and then you have even more blade control, which is nice. So, yeah, it's a cool knife. I mean, that action, guys. Again, their pivot design is incredible. No blade play at all, and I just loosened the pivot a little bit, and it took care of it. I'm sure this could really use a cleaning, maybe. I know for damn sure Jake didn't take it apart. He's lazy. I'm just kidding. He's just not into that as much as, you know, I am, because he thinks this is really good action. I agree. And he doesn't want to make it worse, you know. And that happens a lot. I take a knife apart, clean it, put it back together, and it doesn't have the same action it did from factory because, you know, they use some kind of oil or lube in there. They have it perfectly tuned from factory. So I am trying more and more, if a knife comes to me really good, just not messing with it much. But yeah, I mean, the action's phenomenal in this knife. It's just a great knife. The craftsmanship, the fit and finish is absolutely disgusting. Like, I talk about Riot, and I talk about how good their fit and finish is, their machining, their just quality control, all that stuff, right? And it's absolutely incredible. They are incredible. Koenig knives are, I mean, they're better. I think they're better. I mean, these are just, I've had an Arius in, and it doesn't work for me left-handed, the Arius, but I can appreciate the craftsmanship. The CNC work, these are probably, along with like the Holt Haptic, the Holt Bladeworks knives, these are probably the best CNC knives I've handled. They are, for sure, are the Koenigs and the Holts. And that says a lot. And that's why the price tag is $600. You know, you're paying for it, but you get some really quality stuff, and I can really recommend it. I don't really love this design. I don't know. It's just really small. Here's a bug out. It's just a lot. I took it out and I was like, damn, this thing's way smaller than I thought. It's called a mini Goblin, Kev. Like, you're an idiot. Yep, I know. You can see right there, it's not that small. I mean, it's probably got a 3-inch blade. Shit, it might even be 3 1/4. So it's not that small. I think it's 3. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just handling a lot of bigger knives these days. But yeah, I think it's a cool knife. I definitely understand why people love it. I think a lot of the reason is it's made by Koenig. So if Koenig came out with something else, people would love that too. You know, they only have 2 knives. Now they're going to have 3. They're coming out with a mini Arius. But, you know, it just goes to show that if you're fit and finish, your quality, all that stuff is there. It doesn't necessarily matter how great the design is. People will buy it because I'm not a huge fan of this thing. But I absolutely understand why people love it. So anyway, that's a quick first impressions of the Koenig Mini Goblin. Again, I want to thank Jake from Bearded Gear for sending it my way. Thank you, brother. He'll be linked in the description, of course. Go check him out. I really appreciate you guys for watching. I love you so much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.